little discussion here tonight. Got myself fresh beer. This isn't Guinness, clearly. Not Guinness. This is actually a Brew Free or Die IPA. Super good. Give it a shot. But anyway. Got myself fresh beer here. Wanted to do a little discussion tonight. Wanted to talk about my philosophy on Yoyo and YouTube and just my philosophy for this channel, and just kind of wanted to discuss sort of my feelings. Maybe not feelings. Feelings are wrong. Ideas. My ideas. I don't really have feelings, if you can't tell. My sort of ideas and thoughts and aspirations for this channel and Yoyos and what have you, and YouTube and Yoyo and YouTube and what have you. But anyway, I'm gonna stop rambling about that. So, more or less, I sort of started this YouTube channel because one, I like doing YouTube. I've done other YouTube stuff. I have a guitar channel. Some of you've seen maybe. I kept up with every now and then. I wasn't that great at it, and to be a good guitar channel, you kind of have to mix things. And I'm not into mixing and recording and all that, and then overlaying that with video and producing it. But I like this aspect of it. I like being able to talk to people, and I like being able to enter into discussions with people and just have sort of a community base that I could talk about. And one of the best things I did with guitar stuff was we'll talk about new gear that I got, because I'm a big gear nerd, whether it comes to guitars or video games or computers or yo-yos or whatever. I like new stuff, innovative stuff. I like new gear. And I like gear that does different things, and I like stuff that's kind of unique. So that was sort of my that's what I liked about it. Now, guitar gear is expensive. Every new piece of something that I would get would have to cost, $100 to $1,000 if it was a guitar, or $1,200 or $1,300 if it was a guitar. And yeah, those would get more views. But figure if I would get 13,000 views for a new guitar, it was $100 a view, or $100 per 10 views or something. It was just it was a lot. So I couldn't put up new videos with new gear that often because nobody was ready to send me gear, and it just kind of fizzled. But I saw with Yoyos, it was kind of a something I was into, but at the same time something I could kind of I was buying a lot of them anyway. Why wouldn't I come on YouTube and talk about it? Didn't seem like there were a whole lot of people doing that, and then there was a few, and they seemed to be doing pretty well. Some of them I've even made friends with, as far as Dylan Kowalski and I. He and I wouldn't say we're friends, but he and I talk back and forth pretty often, and we've done some stuff together on YouTube, and I like him. So I've had the opportunity to kind of make relationships with some of those guys, and it's been a good it's been fun. I've been having a lot of fun. I've made relationships at this point with other smaller YouTubers, and they're great guys, so I've had a lot of fun with that. But kind of my aspirations for this channel were sort of to be sort of the Yo-Yo gear type of channel, and then sort of also incorporate my my love of having craft beers as well. What's weird about that is it seems now the only time I ever drink is when I'm actually on camera. It's kind of funny because everybody thinks oh, you just drink all the time. It's I don't. A couple days a week maybe, and it's one or two, and it's usually while I'm filming, which is sort of the I don't know. I guess it's the aesthetic of the channel, but it's not I'm just pounding beers all day. I know people maybe think that. I don't know. Trimmed up my beard, by the way. I think it's looking pretty good. So that was my aspiration, to sort of be the Yo-Yo gear channel, because clearly as many people have pointed out, I'm not that great of a thrower yet, but I'm getting better. Can anybody hear that when I whisper? It's weird. So I'm getting better, but I'm not the best. So but why would you tune in to watch me throw new yo-yos around? I could do the same tricks on every yo-yo that I have, and I can tell you every one of them is great. And do the same tricks, and I don't know why you would believe that, because it just doesn't seem feasible. I should talk to you about why it's good, what its good qualities are, show you that, as opposed to or bad qualities, tell you it's bad qualities. This vibe, see, it's got vibe. Like, not that I don't like Vibe, but it's like, this isn't a dead smooth yo-yo, and it costs too much money. So, you know, there's that aspect of it too. But like, if I just can do a lot of good tricks and it doesn't matter what yo-yo I'm playing with, then, you know, it's sort of a like, I don't know. I try to give honest yo-yo reviews and honest gear reviews to the best of my ability. Which at this point, I mean, I've reviewed tons of yo-yos and I have tons of yo-yos, so you know, I feel like I'm a relatively credible source, at least at this point. Maybe at first I was maybe too new about it, but you gotta start somewhere. So, I started somewhere, and so here I am. But it seems to be working out okay. So, as far as my philosophy on that, this channel's always going to kind of be gear related and me talking related. Because as far as like, do more tricks, it's like, well, yes, I'll try and I'll learn more tricks at my own pace. But at the same time, like, I'm mostly here to be a comparison type of guy. And like, if you're a lot better than me, like, you don't need me to tell you that a yo-yo is good before you get it. Like, you can kind of tell. I mean, I've talked to other professional yo-yoers, and they kind of know what's good and what's not good. You know, they know to go to Yo-Yo Club. Like, I'm not giving anybody who's been yo-yoing for 8 or so years, like, new information. Like, they know. Like, if I say, oh, this yo-yo is stable, they're like, well, it's got this and this. It's probably stable. Like, that makes sense. You know, I'm not, I very rarely would be, like, surprising. Like, oh, this yo-yo seems like it would be stable, but it's actually plays like garbage. Like, that's very rarely a, like, revelation that we have here on this channel, on the Throws and Brews channel. So, you know, most guys who have had a lot of experience, I'm not going to give them any new information. However, there are plenty of guys, and as this hobby grows, as it needs to grow, and we'll get into that in a minute, you know, who are going to, well, what do I buy? What yo-yos do I buy? Hell, look on any yo-yo forum. Look on Reddit, look on the subreddit Throwers, look on Yo-Yo Expert, you know, look on any forum, on any yo-yo forum, and they're gonna, the number one question that gets asked, hi, I'm new, what yo-yo should I buy? I'm here to help with that. I was new at one point, and you know, I'm an adult, I have an income, yo-yos aren't that expensive, I bought a ton of them. Some of them I wish I didn't, some of them I'm glad I did, and, you know, I'll tell you about it. I'll tell you what I thought was good about it, I'll tell you, and you know, this is an ever-evolving thing. I'm going to tell you if my opinion of a yo-yo has evolved. Probably in a shootout, I'll probably shoot it out with something else and tell you if it's an evolved opinion. My opinions evolve all the time. There's yo-yos that I used to really like that I'm now sort of on. Magic Yo-Yo Skyva. We'll talk about that. You know, I liked it when I first got it, and it's okay. It was okay. I always thought, well, it's a little light. It doesn't spin that long. Now I'm sort of like, well, it's really only good for finger spins because it's really not stable or long spinning enough to do other stuff that I want to do with it, and it doesn't grind that well. So, you know, for finger spins, great. Everything else, probably not. Get something else. Lots of stuff in that $20 price range. Get something else. You know, unless all you want to do is finger spins, then go ahead and get that. But otherwise, get something else. So, you know, that's kind of my, like, philosophy is that, like, I kind of want to tell people, like, well, this is good for this, but if you don't want to do this thing, get something else. So, gear-related, get a thing, moving on. Anyway, as far as that, my other sort of goal is growth in the community, and not, like, positive growth in the community. I try to be very positive as far as, like, towards community members, towards people. As long as you come at me with some semblance of positivity, I will be very positive back to you. Now, if you come at me negative, I'm just going to delete you and delete your comment, probably block you. But, you know, that's really just because I don't want to, like, I'm never going to let anything devolve into a flame war. I've seen that happen too much on guitar channels, but that community's bigger. It's huge. This community's not big enough for there to be yo-yo beef and, yo-yo drama and all that crap, and I want to stay out of it entirely. I'm not going to start it. I don't want to start it, so please don't start it. I know I say this all the time, and maybe this even sounds negative, but it's not negative. I don't want to do yo-yo drama. I'm not into yo-yo drama. I'm not interested in it. Don't bring it here because I won't let it fester. I won't foster it here. So it's not. This is not the place for that. It doesn't exist here. That being said, I believe the community needs to grow. I've said before that I think yo-yos need to be in more retail stores. That, companies need to do more to kind of foster the growth of the sport. It's very often like kind of seen as kind of a dorky or a nerdy thing. Now, I'm a 32-year-old. I don't give a crap what anybody thinks. Oh, look at that nerdy guy over there playing with the yo-yo. I couldn't care less if they thought that. I really don't care what anybody thinks of me. But, if you're 16 years old and you go to high school, like, you probably care. Like, if people think you're nerdy or dorky, like, that's probably a big deal to you. I'm 32 and married with kids, and, like, I'm not, like, trying to impress girls or, like, do anything like that. Like, I'm just doing it for me. So, it's kind of a, like, none of that affects me. But, I really sympathize with the guys who, like, kind of get picked on for, like, stuff that they like, because it's like, well, because I don't care doesn't mean that, like, I should be sympathetic to somebody who's 16 or 15 or whatever who, like, likes to yo-yo and wants to yo-yo in school and, like, just enjoy their hobby, but, like, gets looked at as like, oh, you're a nerd, you're a dork, but that's BS. So, I mean, as far as that's concerned, I think we really need to remove that stigma, and I think, having more kind of adults to, like, and just sort of mentors or even, like, role models to look up to is sort of the, like, not that I'm a role model. I'm not a role model. I drink on YouTube. That's not role modeling. But anyway, a lot of the, like, yo-yo professionals and stuff, a lot of those guys are really cool guys. I think that as more role models tend to, like, emerge, and yo-yoing starts to become more of a, like, wow, that's really cool, because people know what modern yo-yoing is, and they start to see it. I think that can only be good. So, I think as yo-yo gets more exposure, modern yo-yoing, like unresponsive tricks and stuff like that, as that gets more exposure, I think it'll become less nerdy and more popular just because of how cool it is. Also, clearly, I want it to get bigger because I want a bigger audience at the same time. Like, if I help to grow the community, that helps to grow my audience. That helps to grow everybody's audience, though. That helps to grow, companies' audiences and just yo-yo companies and all that stuff in general. So, we can only get better, and I think that's what we need to do. That being said, that I think particularly big companies need to try a little harder as far as community growth is concerned. Like, yeah, you can sell me a $70 or an $80 yo-yo, and that's fine. But wouldn't it be better if you could sell, like, 500 of them, or, like, hell, 2 million of them? Wouldn't that be amazing? Think about how many PlayStations they sold. Think about how many different PlayStation games get sold at $60 a piece. Now, I'm not saying that yo-yoing needs to be as big as video gaming, but why isn't it? Like, the gaming companies really, I mean, as somebody who was born in 1984, games are cool but we were thought of as nerdy back in the day when I was, like, a little kid. It was like, oh, you play video games still? Like, yeah, video games are awesome. Like, you're wrong to, like, think they're not awesome. And, ultimately, I appreciate being proven right. The video games are awesome, and that I'm better off for playing them. But, we got a lot of flack. Like, oh, you're not going to the drinking party? You're just going to go hang out and play Mortal Kombat? Like, yeah, I am. How's that make you feel? Like, I don't care what you think. I've never really cared. Does that come through? That I've never cared what anybody thought? That's weird. Worked out for me. Stop caring, kids. You don't give a crap about other people. They suck. But, yeah, so, as it grows, and, it's only going to get cooler. And I think it needs to be in more retail stores, and I think it needs to be more accessible to be able to do that. And anybody that's going to come out here and tell me, no, it's a niche hobby, it's not. It could be one of the most popular hobbies in the world if people could see and understand what it was and what it is. And I think it could be as popular as skateboarding or, you know, snowboarding or anything like that. And you could say, oh, well, those are niche too, but they're not as niche as yo-yo is. They're very much more mainstream and out there. And I think the trick to that is to get, you know, 20-somethings and high school kids and 20-somethings and 30-somethings into it, and to make it more accessible, and to just let them see. Like, when people see me yo-yo, they're like, that is really cool. I didn't know yo-yos did that. Yeah, I know you didn't know that, because I didn't know that either, but this didn't take that long to learn. You should try it. The more people that see that, and the more people that, you know, get involved in it, the better. The more big sponsors, the more money that gets into it, the more pushing out. I have never once seen a commercial for a yo-yo, a modern yo-yo, like an unresponsive, wide-bearing yo-yo. And in the 90s, we used to have commercials for yo-yos all the time. I'd see them all the time. They were on TV. Like, you could see Dunkin' commercials. You saw Omega commercials for the Omega Fireball. That just doesn't exist anymore. Nobody sees that stuff. So nobody knows. Everybody thinks that it's still that. It's not that anymore. Holy crap. Like, how different is yo-yoing now than it was, like, in the 90s? Like, two-handed looping was, like, the biggest thing ever. It's two-handed looping. Who does two-handed looping? Like, that's, like, a thing that, like, people learn, like, it's hard. It's really hard. It was hard in the 90s, but for whatever reason, like, we thought it was cool, and we watched people do it, and we bought the yo-yos like we could do it. Like, 1A, like, string tricks are much easier than two-handed looping, at least to get the basics and stuff down. It should be, it's like, it's more user-friendly now than it ever was before, and it should be more popular. So we need to grow the community, and the companies really need to invest more in growing the community. And yes, I know they're already operating on shoestring budgets for the most part, but, like, I think they need to spend their money wisely to get their sponsored players out and into schools and in front of adults and in front of possible, you know, collaborators with cash like Pepsi or Red Bull or whatever, to get it out there, because it's just not out there as much as it should be. So, you know, moving on from the community growth aspect into, like, YouTube. I like YouTube, and clearly I like YouTube. Here I am. Hi, I'm Tom. I'm on YouTube. Yo-yoing pretty much exists on Instagram, which Instagram's fine for stuff, but Instagram is very instant as far as it's Instagram. It's like Facebook. It doesn't house, like, big amounts of stuff. Things aren't popular for more than a day or so. It fades away. It's very instant. I feel like YouTube is very unique as far as this is concerned, because the quality can go up. Instagram quality sucks as far as videos are concerned. Quality goes up on YouTube. Video length goes up on YouTube. And we can talk about it. We can have discussions. We can, like, put things in to the community to, like, get back information and just, like, interact. Instagram is very, like, it's not set up for that. It's very, like, here's a picture, here's a quick little video. It's just, like, that's not how you're going to grow the community. Like, yeah, people are interested in that who are on Instagram, who are already looking for that stuff, but you're not going to branch out from there. And I think we need to start thinking bigger, and I think YouTube is the right way to do that. And I think more people need to be on YouTube. More professionals need to be on YouTube, making regular content that's more consistent and just higher quality. And, you know, there's revenue from YouTube that exists. It's not hard to do a YouTube video. It's not hard to build a channel. Hi, here I am. I didn't work that hard for this. You're still watching. I don't know why. I've been doing this for 19 minutes already. I don't know why you're still talking to me. But anyway, so yeah, I really think that yo-yoing needs to branch out, to use different social media aspects more, like YouTube. Hello, we're on YouTube, and you're watching Throws and Brews. And this is a thing that needs to happen more. So that's kind of my my goals and aspirations and sort of my thoughts on like yo-yoing and YouTube in general. I'm not going to win any world contests. I may never even compete in a contest, but I'm going to buy a ton of yo-yos and I'm going to talk to you about them. And hopefully you'll watch, because I think I'm interesting. I wouldn't do this otherwise. I have to watch these videos before I put them up. Are you kidding me? Like, if I wasn't interesting, I wouldn't watch this crap. But I think I'm interesting, and I think I have a lot of good things to say, and I have a lot of interesting insights, in my opinion. If you don't think so, that's fine too. I don't care. I think that's the overall, like, subtext of this video, is that I don't care. But anyway, guys, I think I've rambled on enough. So let me know what you think. What do? We need to grow the community. I think we need to use YouTube more. And, you know, here I am doing gear reviews. I think other people need to do this too, because you can't get your hands on enough stuff to, except for me, for whatever reason. I've got a really cool store that lets me touch stuff. But, you know, I'm probably in a very unique situation for that. But, you know, I think we need to be able to do all of that. So, yo-yo gear. Yeah, yo-yo gear, YouTube. We need to use that more. And we need to grow the community. And we should do that all together. So let me know in the comments what you think. And let's have a discussion about this, because I like discussions, and I've been talking for 20 minutes, so, you know, that's probably enough out of me. But thanks so much for watching, guys. I really appreciate everybody's time. If you have made it this far, you are a champion. A true champion. So thank you so much. Make sure you like and subscribe. Cheers to you. And I will see you next time.